Hey y'all, and welcome back, Real Deal, with another reaction. This week we celebrating the whole week of the Idaho 4 Moscow students. So what we're gonna do is this is gonna be my last video for this week of them. No, I'm not do every day. I'm gonna put about 3 videos in for Idaho 4. Those students who was killed over there in the apartment. So this video is the one, it's a recap on the graphic designer how Bryant Kohlberger went in the house and did what he did, allegedly. Okay? So y'all sit back, relax, and that's all I gotta say. Pray for the families of the students.
Approaching the house, he noticed the lights are on. This hinders his plan, and he now has to rethink things. He continues on to the back where he sees affidavit drove by the house 3 times in less than 5 minutes, probably trying to figure out what to do next. He finally decides to leave the area for a little while and observes lights are on one last time in front as he drives off. Cameras show him leaving the neighborhood and exiting on Lenta Drive in this direction. It's uncertain which way he went from this point here, but we know that he is seen here at this location at 3:45 a.m., caught on a gas station security camera. Wondering if this could truly be a 2015 Elantra, I downloaded a known image of one with a similar angle of view. I then entered that into a 3D modeling software and added some lighting and then tilted the camera to get a similar angle, giving motion blur, which ended with this result. Though not scientific, we can see very close similarities that this is a 2015 Elantra. Back to the map. We see the suspect re-enters the neighborhood at 4:04 a.m. He drives up to the house and slows. Looking at the windows, he sees the lights are now off. Continuing to the back, he checks to see if those lights are off. They are. He's excited. He knows everyone is finally in bed, but he wants to check the front one last time. As he drives down, he's filled with adrenaline, seeing the lights are all off for the house. It fails, but he regains composure and stops. He's caught on camera making a frequent turn at the end of the street to return back to the residence. He does his final drive to the back of the house. In the beginning, most of us believed the 2 surviving roommates, Bethany and Dylan, were sleeping on the first floor. Since then, we've learned Dylan was sleeping here on the second floor, along with Xana and Ethan, located here. Kaylee and Madison were located here on the 3rd floor. Dog was located on the 3rd floor, and the room by itself. Let's move around and see through the walls into the kitchen to the back slider and take a look at the teen trying to park his car. At 4:09, approximately 5 minutes later, he enters the house through the back slider. At 4:18, he leaves the house after committing the crimes. At 4:20, he's caught on camera driving away at a high rate of speed. All of this only took 9 minutes. Let's watch what that looks like. pauses at the stairs to look around and make sure no one's up. He then turns and goes upstairs. The first bedroom he stops at and opens the door. He sees no one there. He continues to the next bedroom. Here we know what happens. Downstairs, Dylan is sleeping. The noise from upstairs wakes her up. She thinks it's Kaylee playing with her dog. She gets up and goes to the door and looks out. She sees nothing there. The suspect then continues down the stairs about minutes later. He then heads to Xana's room. Outside, there's a security camera picking up some whimpering cries and the thud at 4:17. Xana was found on the floor, which might explain the thud.
This is what I want to say. Whoever that person is, they've been in his house before. This is not their first time going in that house, and that dog know who he is. The reason why I said that is because he know directly where their rooms were. And they didn't go to no other room but their two rooms.
Dylan again hears something and looks outside her door. She sees the suspect. He walks right past her and moves.
See?
I want to bring Brian Ensign back in. Brian, you stood out.
That's a trip, man. Never seen nothing like that.
There are 4 reasons why independent work should check out Strive.
Do I make sense with that, y'all? Whoever came in that house been there before. They knew exactly where their room was. Girls. Days later, there are still more questions than answers. Here are how the investigation developed in the first few days. Sunday.
I've been here in Moscow on these cars coming in and out of this neighborhood where officials found 4 people dead. Neighbors say they began noticing police cars flood the area around 12 p.m. today. Moscow police say they were, upon further investigation, officials found 4 people dead. While police investigated the scene, the University of Idaho enacted a shelter-in-place alert as university officials reported a homicide near campus. As we've stated, that alert is lifted at this time. Neighbors say most people living in this area are part of U of I Greek life or are students, but we do not know the identities of those involved or who lives at the residence. Officials are investigating. This is a very much developing situation, and we will continue to stay on the grounds until we have more information to report back to you. Until then, in Moscow, Janelle Finch, Crumb 2 News.
Monday night, the University of Idaho confirmed the dead were all students. Monday.
So police still have this house here near University of Idaho taped off. This right here is where officers found 4 bodies yesterday. We now know the names of those 4 students. They were 20-year-old Ethan Chapin from Conway, Washington, 21-year-old Madison Mogan from Coeur d'Alene, 21-year-old Kaylee Goncalves from Rathdrum, Idaho, and 20-year-old Dana Kernodle from Avondale, Arizona, and they were all University of Idaho students. Here's a breakdown of the timeline from what we know so far. Around 1 p.m., we heard reports of a homicide investigation near the college campus. An hour later, the school put out an alert on social media. It said that Moscow PD is investigating a homicide on King Road. They asked the community to stay away from the area and shelter in place as a precaution. Around 3 in the afternoon, friends arrived in Moscow. Neighbors said most people live are a part of new Greek life or students. At around 5 a.m. in the night, that they confirmed those victims were still at the moment as they continue their investigation. Classes for University of Idaho students are canceled for the day. They say they will resume classes tomorrow. In Moscow, Nicole Hernandez continues. Moscow police responded to King Road for a call about an unconscious person this afternoon. When police arrived, they video Moscow and University of Idaho. Finn Chapman of Conway, Washington, was a member of the Sigma Chi fraternity. Zaina Kernodal, a junior from Post Falls, was a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority. Madison Mogan was a senior from Coeur d'Alene, and Kaylee Gonzalez was a senior from Rathdrum.
This is a pretty traumatic situation for our campus community.
Dean of Students Blaine Eccles says news of the suspected homicide shocked the Vandal community.
This is rocking their world. Many of them from small communities where things like this have never happened.
He says drop-in counseling is available to students at any time. He recognizes that many students have already returned home early for the upcoming holiday.
They need to navigate through this situation in the way that best suits them. And students, we're going to support them in doing that.
Support for U of I goes beyond the university campus. Businesses throughout the city of Moscow are offering prayers and thoughts for the Vandal community. And because Moscow is a tight community with a strong relationship with the university, this response isn't a surprise to Mayor Art Medich.
I feel great, and not just for the victims, but everybody else who's a friend and associate with those people.
He told me he was shocked by the news about what he's calling a senseless act of violence.
This is stuff that shouldn't happen, especially in a small, quiet town like Moscow is, where we're heavily involved with the university, the students. It lends everybody a sense of insecurity about what's going on here and why. And it's a very tragic and sad situation all around.
In speaking with Kaylee Gonzalez's mother and sister, they told me Kaylee was a strong and passionate go-getter. She even already had a job lined up in the tech industry after graduation. Kaylee was one of 5 Gonzalez's children. She graduated from Lake City High School, the same school as Maddie Mogan, another victim. Kaylee's family says the two were especially close, and Maddie did on behalf of the Gonzalez family. It reads in part, she's tough and fair, the ultimate to hold back on love, fights, or life. Kaylee was the ultimate go-getter and constantly wanted an adventure. We still have Kaylee's sister Olivia ask the public. We are continuing to ask our own questions. Al Finch, Crown News.
Ethan Chapman, his brother and sister all grew up here together. They went to school here. Together, they enrolled at the University of Idaho. 3 inseparable siblings, now torn apart. Just couldn't ask for better kids. David considered Ethan Chapman family, all the Chapman kids actually. He and his wife watched them grow up in their Conway neighborhood. They'd come over for She's crying. And she says Ethan's been murdered. I just couldn't. You just can't get your head around it. All 3 siblings attended the Conway School before moving on to Mount Vernon High, where Ethan played on the basketball team and graduated last year. All 3 later decided to attend the University of Idaho. Ethan and his brother were members of the same fraternity. I know I didn't sleep a lot last night. I just thinking of them. We had some good times together. The Haytons treated the kids like grandchildren. The couple shared these photos from Ethan's mom's Instagram page. This one taken just a few weeks ago at Parents' Weekend. Dave recalls Ethan as smart, athletic, and always respectful. He says all 3 were great grow all day long. Students dropping off flowers and stuffed animals, remembering the 4 young lives that were, and why.
Like, it's all just shocking to me. Like,
Still surrounds the house where 4 young college students were found dead over the weekend, a crime shocking the University of Idaho community. Classes were canceled today, and some students have decided to go on Thanksgiving break early.
a lot of people left last night, and then we were like, I know we were like the only, like one of the only ones to like actually stay here last night. My mom has called me every single hour for like since like 7 a.m. this morning. So yeah, they want me to come home if I don't feel safe.
Moscow police have not said much about what exactly happened, but they have released the names of the victims. 2 of them, Zana Kernodal, a junior from Post Falls, and Matt Mogan, a senior. The restaurant posted on Facebook saying the 2 brought so much joy to the restaurant and all they enjoyed. Mad Greek is now closed, giving staff time to grieve along with the rest of the community. On Wednesday, on the lawn outside the administration building. In Moscow, Kyle Simchuk, Crim 2.